Man, I tell you what. Somebody's gonna get schmacked. Somebody's gonna get schmacked, man. I tell you what. They're gonna schmack somebody. The whole fucking South right now. What's going on, Joel? How you doing, Joel? You're the best, bro. No, you're the best, bro. The whole South right now is out of gas. Some hackers, they turned the valves off. The sauce, they turned it off. The sauce that fuels your motherfucking gas tanks. Somebody's gonna get schmacked. Motherfuckers. I gotta drive 19 and a half hours Thursday morning. Maybe tomorrow night. I ain't got enough gas to drive 19 and a half hours. What's going on, Pedro? How y'all doing? So, yeah. We're going to need that to come back on. These motherfuckers want some big money. They're going to have the whole South coming after them. I couldn't think of a dumb... How can you be that dumb as a hacker? Take it from the Northeast, right? Right? Take it from the Northwest. Well, people... The South? You want to mess with the South? Whew! I mean, my God. If you wanted an entire place, going to be $4.99 a gallon, somebody says. Yeah, honestly. It was like $2.80 when I saw it. I can't get no gas. All the gas is literally out in the surrounding area. Every place, it says out of service. Fucking about to be apocalypse out here. The next work from home crisis. Who's the cover guy, somebody says. That's Aaron Rodgers. Man, oh man. They're going to get schmacked. Yeah, I don't know why YouTube's not sending out notifications these days. Kind of annoying. Motherfucking YouTube. I'm in Charlotte, NC, and I paid $3 a couple of minutes ago. You got lucky. You got lucky if you actually got into a gas station. I assume you had to do a nice wait, or you found a nice little dinky one. Yeah. Alrighty. Big 11-game slate. Too big, to be honest with you. What? Pause. 6-game slate tomorrow, then like a 9 and an 8-game slate, and then we just end this motherfucking regular season, get to the playoffs where we actually start to give a shit again, because talking about these G League squads the last week and a half has been not so fun. Needed that last call last night. Hey, what's going on, Teddy? Yeah, y'all doing? So, 11-game slate. Some news has already dropped. Memphis, some actually big news. It's going to open up a lot of value in Memphis. Some of the top value plays, Xavier Tillman and Brandon Clark, are expected now to be some of the top value plays as Memphis is down their big men. Jaren Jackson, any type of center upside is now gone with Jaren Jackson. Jonas Valanciunas out. Hey, Sal, you said Allen was easy over. LOL, everybody told you not to, says Savage. I don't know what that's referring to. I'm not too sure what that is referring to be honest with you. Sal, make Allen projection to 0. Also not sure which Allen. Grayson Allen, Jared Allen? Is this from the Prize Picks thing from Friday? Jared Allen plus, what was it? Jared Allen plus, I can't even remember. KJ Martin, I believe. Yeah, Kenny Martin. I mean, maybe I said that Jared Allen was an easy over. I don't think I said that, though. I think his over under was at like 36 or something. I had him at like 38.5, so I doubt I would say an easy over. Did I take the over on him? Yes. Yes. Am I going to tilt my face off like Savage X Plus? Probably not. Those weren't my last dollar bills to my name. On such a big slate, are we doing stars and scrubs or a little more balance as the optimal build? Hope you're doing well, bro. I hope you are doing well as well. On such a big slate, yeah, I mean, stars and scrubs has been the definition of the 2021 NBA regular season. If you have found a slate this year where stars and scrubs wasn't the answer, a slate that was 6-game slate or bigger, like you're probably playing on a 2 or 3 game slate, 6-game slates and bigger, stars and scrubs has been the answer every fucking time. Because the scrubs are in abundance with all the injuries and all the guys taking days off on the shortened schedule, less off days. And the stars are not priced properly. Russell Westbrook should not be below $13,000. He should not. When he is at ease, dropping triple doubles and scoring 65 points on average, he should not be priced at the price point where he has to score 55 to do well for you, right? So yeah, stars and scrubs all the time. Let's talk Toronto, somebody says. Yeah, we could pull up Toronto's minutes. Toronto's basically the same as this morning. Nothing has changed outside of Aaron Baines officially getting ruled out. Aaron Baines I already had out today. I gave him no minutes, so not much really changes there for me from Toronto. We can take out Aaron Baines officially ruled out. And here's Toronto's minutes on the screen right now. So, yeah, we'll see what happens with Chris Boucher. He's questionable. I mean, if Chris Boucher gets ruled out today, they literally have no centers. They're going to have to be putting Freddie Gillespie and Stanley Johnson at center. So, I mean, even if Chris Boucher is in, I don't really see them giving him in the meaningless game. I mean, this is a meaningless game for them. I don't see them giving him 30 minutes of play. So either way, guys like Stanley Johnson, Freddie Gillespie, and Yuta Watanabe are going to be getting center minutes today. Obviously, Ken Birch being the one who gets the majority of the run there. I've got Ken Birch at 32 minutes of play. But I think either way, you're probably going to be seeing some of those guys touch some center minutes and definitely power forward minutes. Salvatore, I've been losing my eyes lately on PriceBook. Should I drink heavily and forget about it or try again? Drink heavily and forget about it. That doesn't sound like the option. I would say if you wanted to, just take a day off. Take a day off from it, reset, celebrate the National Calendar Day of Eat Whatever You Want Day. Sounds like a nice time. Sal, can you rank the $10,000 players today? Yes, I can for you. For me, they rank out as Giannis, Nikola Jokic, Luka, Sabonis. That's a lie. There's so many fucking $10,000 players. Alrighty, let's do this again. 10,000 players for me. $10,000 players for me rank out right now as Steph Curry, Giannis, Karl Anthony Towns, Embiid, Jokic, Luka. Rose or Fournier today? I'll take Rose. What is your favorite PricePicks play? Sorry if you already went over this. I've not gone over it yet. We'll get into PricePicks momentarily. Can you bring up your current top 8? Yeah, not much has changed. I mean, outside of the Memphis stuff, I guess that's relatively big news. Waiting on a lot of other big news to come out. So I guess based on where they're going to rank for me, that's some big news. So yeah, we can pull up the changes to the early interests. Let's do this now. So these are my current top 8 yeses. I have 17 guys marked down as priorities as yeses so far today. These would be the top 8 of them. Man, this gas thing, these motherfucking hackers, the hackers in the South right now that there's like all the gas is off. Jet fuel's off, car fuel's off. All the gas in the South is off. You can't fill up your tanks anywhere. They said we only want to make a lot of money. We don't want to cause inconvenience to society. Bitch, what? You think that the states governments, and maybe federal, we're just going to like give you shit in like 2 hours? They're just going to hand it over and set the precedent of, yeah, anytime you want to hack anything, a hackable service will give you what you need. I'm about to be bunkered down in my motherfucking house. My calf's about to be real big from walking to Texas these next couple of months. About to have them big boy fucking calves. There's a top 8 on the screen. Do you think Dallas versus Memphis game is going to stay close today? What is the over-under or the total? Dallas versus Memphis today. Obviously, there's some guys out now. It was a 1-point spread to open. They're down a couple of centers. Those centers are, especially with Jaren Jackson, not really playing all that many minutes. At least not 30 plus. Yes, I would expect that game to stay close. It was a pick'em basically. Before that news, 2 centers is not going to move the line 10 points. So that game I would expect to stay close based on the spread. The man that the legend, what's going on, Tinder? How you doing? Heard Russ is going to go over 12K. Hope so. I mean, just in time for one game of the regular season. Same hackers probably making future bets on crude. I mean, them hackers ain't going to get out of, they ain't going to be getting out of anywhere without some handcuffs on, I would assume. Got a notification 20 minutes ago, says Amy. Hey. Got the notification 30 minutes before start. Interesting. That's probably when I scheduled it. I'm ready for the playoffs with all these random lineups. Yeah, I mean, I am too, my man. I'm going to be honest with you. I am too, Pedro. There's nothing worse than the NBA in April. It just so happens this year to be in May. The NBA in April is usually what's happening right now when there's a normal schedule. The playoffs start a little bit sooner. So, yeah, brutal. Jokic or Freak? Give me Greek Freak. Sal, can you go over your favorite prize picks? Yeah, the guys from this morning are still going to be some of my favorites. It's too early to really be placing any finalized prize picks. I would not recommend at 5'10" placing a lot of prize picks because the amount of injury news that is going to come out with 22 teams on the schedule and only really one team giving us their injury news so far, and even that might not be official with Memphis, might have more. But Malachi Flynn over 29 I've taken. I don't really see that getting any better for him. In terms of going down. Like, if anything, this is only going to continue to go up if Chris Boucher gets ruled out. Malachi Flynn's, I would assume, touches 30 plus. So I'll take Malachi Flynn on the over because I already like it. I have Sadiq Bey. I already took him this morning at 29, so we got him lower. We said he might go to 30. He went there. Anthony Edwards, I still have under 38. I'm surprised as to why this is not changing. Towns went from 47 to 48. I still have him above 50, so I think that's a fine one. So I currently have 4 prize picks, 3 from this morning that we got really early. in which 2 of them have already changed. I'm surprised Anthony Edwards under has not changed yet. That is a surprising one to me, to say the least. That is definitely surprising to me. I got like the worst sore throat. There's like I'd say there's, I mean, I'm no scientist or doctor, but I'd say there's like a 35% chance your boy's got COVID on this screen right now. I've had the worst sore throat and chest pains for like the last 3 days. But I mean, I ran like a 6.5 minute 5K today. Motherfucking lungs of steel. These young lungs. Get that motherfucking virus out these young lungs. But it's a really weird itch. Really weird itch in my throat. Can somebody out there come over here and itch this motherfucking throat for me? Come on. Fuck y'all doing out there? Come on, be useful. Be useful. You're asking beautiful questions. I love the questions. They're incredible questions. But can somebody just itch the back of my fucking throat for me? Don't want to put my own hands down there. That'd be weird. The money bag secured, says Adam G. Hey, we like that. Are the Clippers sitting any players? I would be surprised if the Clippers don't sit any players. Yeah, I would be surprised if they're not. There's nothing out there right now. There's no news on the Clippers sitting any players right now, but going up against the G League of Toronto, this is like the ideal game for Kawhi Leonard to not play. How do you see Campazzo from Denver grading out today? I'm not really liking him. I mean, I see massive minutes for him, but I think he's priced appropriately. A lot of Denver is priced appropriately today. Campazzo I have for 33 minutes. He's not the greatest of fantasy point per minute producers, slightly above average with no Jamal Murray out there, no Dozier out there. So he's $5,700 though. Like for Campazzo to get in a winning lineup for you or in a top placing lineup, he probably has to score. I mean, at least 30, but probably closer to 35 plus. And I just don't have Campazzo anywhere near that today. I mean, he's still playing on a team with some high producers in Nikola Jokic, in Michael Porter Jr., and now Paul Millsap is getting more run, which probably doesn't mean much to anybody out there, but it's better than, Zeke Nanji playing minutes, however you pronounce his name. Yeah, so Campazzo for me is not somebody who's on my radar currently. I've got Campazzo for 27.5 points. Just tough to get there. Bro, I got pretty hurt bad this weekend on Prize Picks, but pulled $400 last night. Refine your process and go get it, says Jared. Yeah, refine your process and go get it. I mean, here's the thing. If you're going all or nothing on one night on any site, Prize Picks, any type of betting sites, DraftKings, whatever it might be, and you go busto, that's on you, right? You're not going to win every night. You're probably not going to win the majority of the nights, right? That's just not how this works. Unless you're playing cash, then you probably will. But if you're playing GPPs, if you're playing against the bookies, you need to be taking out and leveraging yourself to maximize the nights where you win through good bankroll process. So when you are winning, increase your life roll, whatever your bankroll, whatever amount of money. I mean, bankroll is just such a loose term that's bullshit by so many people that I think say it. I don't think people keep $10,000. If people are keeping like $10,000 in their DraftKings account, I mean, or any type of account, it seems very strange to me. When I mean, your bank account's probably much more secure than that, or even PayPal. But yeah, I would say use good bankroll management. I mean, there'll be days when I lose a week in a row. You refine any process that's happening. In the NBA, that's pretty, I wouldn't say common, but likely this year with so many blowouts and injuries. You can lose 5-6 days in a row. You just have to make sure that you're playing on GPPs, even in small field single entry 3-max, you're playing for one night a week. Can you hit in the top 1%, one night a month, but really one night a week and cash out? Oh, you just won a $7,000 night and you only pay $500 a night, right? I play $1,000 to $1,500 a night in the NBA. This season, I've been more so playing less, like probably around $1,000, because, I mean, the games are just so fucking wacky towards the end of the year, right? So it's tough to get an average amount of money up higher than that and feel comfortable. So if I play $1,000 a night in the NBA, and one of those nights I hit the $8,500 that I need, I'm now covered for literally 10 days. Oh, you have a nice 2-day sprint, and now you have a $1,500 winnings. Yeah, now you're covered for a better part of that month, right? So if you got your ass handed to you the last day, 2 days, 3 days on Prize Picks, yeah, I would say that's pretty average. A pretty average result. If you're going in and playing like a 3 or 4 or 5, if you're just going with 2 guys, right, which I don't think a lot of people are, but that's the safer way to go, less upside. But if you're power playing 3, 4, 5 guys together, yeah, you're not going to win as often. Favorite pay-up options? I've got 3 studs, says Aiden. Yeah, the pay-up options for me, there's no real differentiation, right? Like, Steph's cheaper, so it makes him look a little bit better, but there's really there's no Russ on the slate. That's about it, right? And there's every other fucking stud on the slate tonight. There's literally going to be every single player on the slate that's healthy on Sunday. So I guess it's somewhat of a pricing thing, like, or ownership thing, is Steph's going to be highly owned. I like Giannis, and it seems like Giannis isn't picking up ownership, so he'll probably be my favorite stud. No Anthony Davis? No, not for me. Does John Morant look good today? Meh. I think he's barely in a player pool. I'll pull up Memphis's new minutes now with the bigs out today. I'll also pull up Fantasy Lab so we can be aware of any new news that is dropping. No new news has dropped. Might have missed it. How comfortable are you starting both Brandon Clark and Tillman in the same lineup? Yeah, I mean, if they both start, I'm fine with it. If we get one of them starting at center, right? We get Tillman at center and Clark at the 4, I'm fine with it at their current price points. I think it would be a pretty fine way to go about it. They'll also be really... I mean, there's a lot of things that go into it outside. I'm comfortable playing them both because they're both in the $3,000 range. They both have a really good chance to start and play close to the basket for a team that's down some bodies today. But you have to keep in mind the ownership part of it, right? Those are going to be probably, as of right now, news is going to change in the next 2 hours, but as of right now, those are going to be the 2 highest owned guys probably on the slate. Rose or Campazzo? Rose by a lot. Do you still like Bay at 30? I prefer him much more at 29, but I think he's fine at 30, and Josh Jackson being out will only help it, so it can only get better for you. Thoughts on Thompson and best value centers? No interest in Tristan Thompson today for me. Best value centers today, let me get you that right now. So best value centers on the projections, it's Ivica Zubac. Centers, it's crazy. It's an 11-game slate. Center's not that great of a value spot today. I mean, there's options. Don't get me wrong. There's Zubac. If you want to punt with 3K guys who suck like Willie Cauley-Stein and Kevon Looney, go ahead. But outside of that, like Nerlens Noel, Moses Brown, it's like flaky value that you hope in 26 minutes of play gets 3 blocks instead of 1, right? Like that's what you're hoping for in those types of plays. I do think Zubac is the best value center at 4,600. And there's a little bit more upside to that, obviously, if they sit any of these guys against Toronto today. I don't think Zubac is necessarily a rest candidate. Definitely in blowouts, he comes out quick, but I think that Kawhi and Paul George would be. Even Marcus Morris might be some of these older players. Not really seeing Giannis balling out tonight in the back-to-back. Yeah, I don't have any worries about Giannis on a back-to-back. Back-to-backs are a narrative for older players, right? I mean, it's the end of the NBA regular season and they can just rest the fucking guy. Yes, that's definitely true in this wonky season. But Giannis hasn't had any issue with back-to-backs this year. Russell Westbrook hasn't. Nikola Jokic hasn't. I mean, if you're talking about guys that are in their mid-30s on back-to-backs, not named LeBron James, then yeah, they'll probably see a little bit less spunk, if you will. But especially this season with back-to-backs, like teams are staying very local or close and not taking long flights or staying in the exact same arena and playing the game. It's not as much wear, if you will, mentally from that side of it. So I'm not worried about Giannis. I mean, Giannis is a young player. He's not 21, but he's a young player. They also don't really have much to be playing for, or at least he doesn't in this matchup. So not shocked if they don't give it their all, but I'm going to project Giannis, I believe, today for... My throat is motherfucking dead. 33 minutes. Speak on Brazidix, says Anthony, my fellow Italiano. I'm not going to really know how to pronounce the last name. Not interested. Yeah, that's my speak on him. Not interested. Got him for 24 minutes of play today for Orlando. Not much stands out for me. An average, at best, fantasy point per minute producer that plays a weak position and a team that just plays everybody for like 25 minutes. He's on the screen right now. 24 minutes of play is not in a player pool for me. Maybe that's shocking to some people, but I don't think that he's good or going to be highly owned, so I don't think it's that hot of a take. Hey, Salazar now. Nikola Vucevic or Luka Doncic on DK? Give me Luka. Yeah, give me Luka there. How do you see Kyrie and Durant tonight? I see Durant being almost in play, like barely in play right now. He's all the way up at the top. I don't see Kyrie being in play at 9,600, but I see Durant being barely in play. I also think that Durant's not going to pick up any ownership, which is why the main reason I got him in a player pool. I think Durant will be like 15% on this bigger slate. Somebody says Tillman shooting guard. I believe Tillman is forward eligible. Let me see. Shooting guard eligible. Was Tillman forward eligible at some point this season? I don't know why I'm thinking that. I believe he was, right? Power forward eligible earlier this season. Tillman is center eligible. There we go. Tillman is center eligible. So he's power forward eligible earlier this season. He has now switched to center eligible. So you have Tillman at center eligible. Is Clark only center eligible? Clark's power forward. So yeah, you can play them both without taking up the utility spot. Does it help tonight if teams are still fighting for a certain playoff spot? Dallas is 5 in the West. I mean, yeah, maybe. There's definitely something to be said about motivations towards the end of the regular season, but I think that's going to be factored into the minutes already. Like the teams that already play big minutes and have been playing big minutes are going to be factored into my minutes projections. You can build narratives and try and like sort out the brackets for how they can have the best matchup possible. I'm personally not going to do that. Maybe there's like some edge to taking the time to do that. But I think at the end of the day, the teams that are playing for something are going to have their guys play big minutes, and I'm projecting big minutes. So I don't know how to, like, I'm not going to increase fantasy point per minute production just because, like, they want to get into the playoffs more. And if I'm these fucking guys, I don't even want to get into the playoffs. Maybe there's incentives tied into their salaries. I'm sure there is for a lot of them. But just take this fucking season off and go home. I mean, Jesus, this season has just been brutal. Somebody said my boy hacked DK. What you mean? These hackers are on DK now? Damn. First I take my gas. Now I take my livelihood. Yeah, that's what I thought. You have him at shooting guard. Yeah, he was a shooting guard earlier in the season, at least on DraftKings when he came out as a rookie. Nobody knew who the fuck he was. So the site that I pulled data from has not changed him over. Like, none of this is like they're my projections, they're my minutes projections, but the basic information of names, positions, obviously the salaries and stuff, I pulled them all from different sources. What's going on, BFOS, over on Twitch? Philly interest today? Yeah, let's pull Philly. Actually, I mean, the interest should not be I have literally like no interest here. Maybe Joel Embiid, who's, I believe, questionable. The guy who has Tillman at shooting guard says Dion Kelly. Yeah, I'm not sure what you're saying. Which teams do you think will play their original starters big minutes tonight? Yeah, I mean, big minutes tonight. Let's source through it. The healthy guys, I think starters. I think Brooklyn will get decent sized minutes, right? I think the Celtics will get decent sized minutes. I mean, the healthy teams are going to get big minutes tonight. I don't think players, if guys are starting in today's game, I think they're going to be getting their normal run. I think what you'll see is on Saturday and Sunday, you'll get some really wonky things like guys sitting at halftime. And for the most part, guys just being out. How you feeling, Sal? Throat holding up, bro? No, it is not. This throat's about to fall the fuck apart, my man. I'm going to be honest with you. This throat's about to fall the fuck apart. This is my fourth piece of content today. I've got one in the bank for content on Friday. Got a pre-schedule while I'm traveling. So, yeah, this throat's already been brutal, and now it ain't getting no better. I didn't get to sleep much last night. Sleeping in a cold room with a bad sore throat doesn't seem to be the answer because I woke up with it on fucking fire, and it felt like my hole was like my throat hole, my mouth hole. I felt like my mouth hole was real small to where I start putting it up to the camera and get some real dirty words in there. He's got vodka in that water. Nah, man, vodka is the worst alcohol out there. Shout out the Russians for making the worst alcohol out there. I don't really drink liquor all that much. But if I do, I'll drink, like, I have like Woodford Reserve out there, some bourbon, tequila if we're trying to take some big old shits. But, I don't really drink liquor all that often. Anymore. In college, though, yeah, Vegas water, a.k.a. vodka, was the way to go. Frank Kaminsky, nah, I've got him like 15, 16 minutes. Does Jimmy Butler have any interest for you? Yes, like, not a lot, though. Which team? All right, Jokic has more upside with the potential of a close game than Giannis, or no? Let's see what these totals are. Jokic is in a 5.5-point favorite. Milwaukee today comes in as 14-point favorite. So, yeah, I would say that Jokic has a better chance of the game staying close. Correct mundo. Honey whiskey works. Manage a package store. It's the trick, bud. Honey whiskey for the throat. Yeah, I mean, if this thing is actually the good old COVID, I don't think that honey whiskey is the answer. Although maybe you found the vaccine before many other people. Somebody says Kettle One. Yeah, Kettle One also brutal. You can't tell me that any type of vodka is good. I don't care. I've had all your top vodkas out there. Keep naming the Grey Goose. Keep naming them all. This one's smoother. All right, you put any of them in ice, they're the same fucking alcohol. All straight cheeks. There's a reason why college kids choose it as their preference to be getting drunk on. Newer Patreon since last week says dominate. Hey, heart right back at you. If it's not COVID, that is. Yeah, I mean, I would say that there's like a 75% chance I do not have the COVID. And if I do, I have very mild symptoms because I just went on a 3-mile run this morning. And it was nice. Somebody says Stoli is smooth and cheap. Never heard of it, so you could be right on that one. Somebody says it's literally the worst thing you can do for a sore throat. Definitely Chris Paul tonight, right? Not for me. Is Saban Lee, what's going on, Michael, though? Is Saban Lee in play? Favorite shooting guard for the price? Thanks. Is Saban Lee in play today? He's in play. I have him for 20 minutes, so it's not that secure of a play. We'll pull it up right now in the double box for Detroit. At that price point of $3,400. He is barely in play for me. I don't think you're really going to find that many other shooting guards at that price point. I mean, you have Jalen Harris from Toronto at $3,100. Is he shooting guard eligible? I have him as shooting guard eligible. He might be point guard eligible. Jalen Harris is shooting guard eligible, so I mean that's probably a better option for you if you're going to end up looking for a guy to score 20 fantasy points, you might as well go to a $3,100 player, a little bit cheaper. Other than that, a lot of the value is not at shooting guard tonight. Steph in play, somebody says. Yes, Steph looks like one of the better pay-up options today because of the price point. The ownership is going to follow that, though. Vodka's just diluting rubbing alcohol. It's nasty. I would agree. I had to throw thing all weekend. It sucked, and I had to sit in a duck blind in the rain for 6 hours. Finally getting better. Damn. Yeah, I started to get this on Sunday night, so it's already Tuesday. I'm hoping by tomorrow night should be better, hopefully. I mean, I should probably get some fucking cough drops. I haven't treated it at all. Just drinking water. LeVert or Sabonis today? Sabonis if I had to pick one. CP3 or Kemba Walker today? If you made me pick one, I'll say CP3 just because the assist upside there is a lot higher, which can open up a ceiling for you. Any left for AD tonight? Picasso TV, what's going on, boss man? No, not for me. Hey. 2 or 3 stud lineup for single entry. I think 2 makes more sense as of right now. But if more news starts to open up in a... I mean, we're an hour and a half away from lock with 22 teams playing tonight. And we just got Frank Jackson news 9 minutes ago. Josh Jackson is likely to play. I already have him projected in. So I guess like the only news that we've gotten is Frank Jackson being unlikely to play. I had Frank Jackson for 32 minutes of play, as you can see on the screen right now. So that's actually decent news because, yeah, now, so the person who just asked about Saban Lee, yeah, he's going to be very strongly in play now. Because Saban Lee was already in play for 20 minutes with Frank Jackson projected for 32 for me. Now Frank Jackson's motherfucking out today. So now you're going to be seeing some Saban Lee pop off a little bit more. I mean, they're down a lot of guards now at this point, right? I mean, they're going to have Kelly and Hayes out there. I assume that you'll see some ball handling responsibilities for Josh Jackson. But, yeah, they're down a decent amount of bodies now in Detroit. So with Frank Jackson now being unlikely to play, let's just call it doubtful, I do think Saban Lee is going to be a very, very strong play for you. I mean, Saban Lee is going to go from 20 minutes for me to probably 28, and that's enough to make him a yes now at 3,400. So, yeah. So let's take Frank Jackson's minutes out. We'll update these minutes on screen right now, and I can update the projections on the back end. So what that's going to do is I'll give Saban Lee an extra minutes here. Josh Jackson now playing 24 minutes. I'm going to give him a bump to 28 minutes of play today. It'll put him in a player pool for me. Kelly and Hayes is still expected to play. We'll give him 30 minutes today. Kelly and Hayes, all these guys are going to be in a player pool. But yeah, Saban Lee. So who asked that earlier? I assume you saw this news before I just did. Came on a couple minutes back. Yeah, Saban Lee is very firmly in play now. Very, very firmly in play now. I mean, we got so many guys in play from this fucking team now. Detroit, the whole entire team might be in play outside of like Julio Okafor, maybe no Tyler Cook. Vucha Cat, give me Cat. Somebody says 2 days ago, Scary Terry going to play like he did yesterday 2 days ago? Hope so. I mean, I don't really have much interest. Sandwich 3, Sabonis. Oh, we got a lot of questions coming in right here. Sandwich 3, Vooch, Sabonis, Tatum, or Sabonis, Tatum, LeVert. Gargle apple cider vinegar for the throat. I have apple cider vinegar CBD gummies, but no, just apple cider vinegar. So I'll take I'll take Vooch, Sabonis, and Tatum. So basically, it seems like you're just asking me Vooch or LeVert. I'll take Vooch if I had to pick one. Not interested in Tatum or other Celtics besides forward with Brown being out. Yeah, not really interested in others. Not really interested all that much in others. May too sneaky value if he plays and could start, but I don't expect that to happen with Rashawn Holmes now back. Steph for Luka today. Give me Steph. Sal, do you like Poku on Prize Picks today? Let me see where he's at over there. But for the question on Boston, I like Fournier. I like Smart. That's about it. Thompson's like barely in play, but probably going to get bumped. Poku's over-under for me. I don't have anything placed on Poku. He's at 22 on the over-under. I think I got him for like 24, so my answer is going to be no to that. Yeah, I've got him for 21.7. He's going to be no. Bay or Bagley today? Oof, that's a tough one. Bagley has a higher ceiling, no doubt about it. Josh Jackson hurt Bay's play? No, not really. No, Bay's still going to get big minutes. I mean, it would have been better for Bay. Like, I had interest in Bay no matter what. It would have been better if Josh Jackson was out, but either way, he's an interest of mine. Either way, how about that bonus on Prize Picks last night? I was able to get a small piece of it. Yeah, the 25% bonus on Russell Westbrook. If you ended up playing him and he won and he got you there. Do you update the top 10 list on Patreon? No, there's no reason to. You can just do it on your own end. So on Patreon, if you just go to the projections and you go to the rating, you just filter that. Filter that in descending order, highest to lowest, and that'll give you the top projected players. And then if you want to filter it for the yeses, you then take the second step to filter it by the yeses, and bam, you have your projections in order of top point per dollar in order of yeses. So you're able at any point to update and see where the top ranked plays are. And if you don't know exactly how to do it, there's a video attached to Patreon that shows you how to walk through and use the projections to the most optimal use, and that is indeed in there as well. How do you project the performance of guys who barely played all season long? Well, you have a bigger track record of past seasons of them. And if not, you have to make some assumptions. You have to make some assumptions of what this player is compared to other guys, right? I mean, like beginning of the year, we don't really know anything about rookies, right? We don't know how they're going to perform. So you have to make assumptions on how they perform until you get a decent sample. But we have a good amount of minutes on a lot of these guys. Like, it might not seem like there's any minutes on any of these guys this year. We have a good amount of minutes on a lot of these guys. I mean, Xavier Tillman, Saban Lee, Brandon Clark, Stanley Johnson, Yuta Watanabe. These are guys who are going to be top values as of right now. We have good minute samples on all of them. So I would contest that there's really nobody tonight where you're not going to have that big of a minute sample of at least 100 to 200 minutes of play with these teams this year. But yeah, I mean, there's not going to be many samples of how does this player perform when 7 guys are off the court this season for the second or first time. Yeah, of course, there's not going to be much of a sample there, but you can start to project out past situations, and your databases should have past situations of what happened when high producers was off the court, and now you got left with these types of players that are similar, right? Predictive analytics. So there's no easy answer there, and that's just touching the surface on it, but I think that's probably the best spot we can go to. Can you pull up some ownership if you have some questions on it? Yeah. Jalen Harris or Saban Lee? Saban Lee. Would you stack Luka, Curry, and Giannis in a single entry 3-engine max? I don't feel the need to do that, as of right now at least. Maybe if we get more value. Fournier, yeah, I like him. My favorite guy in Boston today. What's up, Sal? How was your trip? The trip was nice. It was really, really all over the place in terms of fun things. Planes, trains, and automobiles on Friday. Got into New York City. Hung out with a friend and his girlfriend and my girlfriend. Went to a beer garden in the city. Went to a winery by the water. Really nice. Saturday, got up, ran by the water, ran by the Hudson River. It was fantastic. Went to my grandma's memorial service. Had about a 4 or 5 hour big Italian meal with all my family members in a really nice restaurant. And then, went back to my grandparents. Got to hang out with them and hang out on Mother's Day with my grandmother and my mother. And all my family. So it was very eventful. It was very nice. Any TJ McConnell love? No, not really. They're just not giving him minutes. They don't care to give TJ McConnell minutes. Now, I know Emden Summer is now out today as well, but based on what we're seeing in the past, they don't really care to give him much minutes. Drew Holiday or Michael Porter Jr. today? Michael Porter if I had to pick one. You can drink one strong vodka drink, and it's the equivalent of 4 beers. So, yeah, it's nasty, but you don't have to drink as much. Yeah, I mean, I think beers are fine if you're, like, tailgating or just, like, out all day. I like beer a lot more now, but yeah, I mean, I'd rather tequila or bourbon over vodka. And also, I'm not really. I mean, if you're in the college days, yeah, just drink vodka and just get drunk quick so you can party. But now about to turn 25, your boy still likes to motherfucking dance and party, but I also don't like to be absolutely plastered when I'm going out. Feel nice all night instead of just absolutely plastered, because that next day, oof, I'm gonna lose the whole fucking next day. And when I'm hungover, and it hasn't been much lately, but it happened the one day when I was in Miami or in Florida. It's not even the fact that it like actually is painful, like either a headache or just like a weird stomach or just feeling gross. I actually hate more how unproductive it makes me feel or makes me be. So that's why I hate it more. Vooch is never high owned, agreed, because he's overpriced. Will Millsap or McDermott be lower owned? Which is the better play today? Will McDermott versus Millsap be lower owned today? That's a good question. Let me pull it up. For anybody who's a Patreon, I'll be updating the projections after the stream around 6 p.m. There's just going to be so much news coming in for this bigger slate. So the stuff on Monty Morris being projected to play today, Frank Jackson being unlikely. That's the only news right now we have to update for. It's not that massive, although it does make Saban Lee and a lot of guys from Detroit a little bit better or really good like Saban Lee. But we'll update the exact stuff for it in 25 minutes. So don't worry about any of that. I'm just not going to update it during the stream so we can keep the flow of the stream going real nice for people. Vooch or Cat today? I will be taking Cat today. So the question on McDermott today, I don't think he's going to be picking up that much ownership. And then it was McDermott versus Millsap. I would say if anything, McDermott picks up more ownership because nobody wants to play Millsap. It's not like he's getting really secure minutes. I like Millsap personally today. So my answer will be Paul Millsap if you're looking for a lower owned option. Monty is incorrect. Current top plays. The current top plays are not going to be factoring in any of the updates, so it's not really great to be looking at them. This is where the current top plays currently reside, the current top 8. But Saban Lee is going to be on this list. So I'm not projecting in Monty Morris. I'm not projecting out yet Frank Jackson, who's doubtful. I will be doing that in about 20 minutes once the stream ends. I already did it on the minutes on the stream. So this is going to be the top 8, except Saban Lee is going to be in there, which is going to bump up or bump off either McDermott or Zubac. Probably Zubac, based on the way that this is laid out for all of you. Sal, my main man. What's going on? 891 player tournament last night. Thanks to your projections, says Kevin. Hey, we had people in here earlier shitting on the projections because they went bust on Prize Picks. And also, the people earlier who got mad that they ended up losing on Prize Picks for whatever it was. I get it. That's the nature of the business. I'm here. I'm here for the ups and downs of your roller coaster of your life. I'm here for you. I'm here to pat you on the back, double pat, maybe schmack, get you into shape. But also keep in mind, if you're playing 3, 4, and 5-way power plays, which is a parlay on Prize Picks, to try and 10x your money, you're the one making the dumb decision every night. Now, it's not to say you can't do it, but yeah, if you go with 2-way power plays or 2-way flex plays, and you just go bunch of 2-ways, you're going to end up winning a whole lot more, right? The projections come to the office every day with the exact same process. Some days they hit, some days they don't. And for my man Kevin last night, they hit a 891 person. We love to see it. Yo, get your towns for you. If I had to pick one, towns. Try 405 Beers brand. They have slushier beers and stuff. Had a blueberry pancake one, and it had so much blueberry flavor. Interesting, Derek. Interesting. Yeah, I don't like buy beers and keep them in the fridge. There's like hard liquor at my house for like tequila and like bourbon. If I'm ever going to like drink alcohol just casually, I just don't like drinking alcohol casually on like a Tuesday or Wednesday night. Just not my thing. Maybe it's your thing. It's just not my thing personally. I don't have a reason to do it. Just not my thing. But if I do, it'll be with like some bourbon. Small amount, get a real nice big ice cube molded, have some molds in the freezer, and just sip on that. But doesn't happen often. I just don't buy beer. So like those types of beers, like the blueberry type of thing, if it's at a brewery, maybe I try it. But normally if I'm at a brewery, I'm trying like IPAs, things like that. Watching UFC this weekend? Oh, for sure. And are there people that talk about UFC projections in the Patreon Discord? I've never been on the Discord. Yeah, 2D. What's going on? So projections for UFC will be out probably on Wednesday. Ownership, all that type of stuff. The video will come out on Thursday. Actually, probably on Thursday. Video will come out Thursday. Yeah, we talk about UFC. I'll be watching UFC this weekend. I actually move into Austin, so close to Houston where the event is, Saturday. If it was 1 week later, this UFC event, I'd be going. So the next event that's going to be in Texas, wherever it is in Texas, I'm going to try and go. I know that I believe they have the Vegas fight. I think Connor's in Vegas. MGM, back where they need to be. I believe so. Or T-Mobile Arena. So I'm not going to go to that one, but hopefully. But yeah, love the UFC. This is obviously a fantastic weekend. The two top fights on this card are fantastic. I've just watched both of the embedded vlog series. It's been a ton of fun. Steph Perber, Cat or Greek Freak? I'll go Greek Freak. Made $3,700 in the 8 days since joining your Patreon. Jason Meffley. I thought it said McFlurry. I was like, oof. Back in my old days, I used to pound the motherfucking McFlurries. Jason, my man Jason in the chat right now, bowling out right there. $3,700 in 8 days. Shout out to you. Yeah, if you want to sign up for Patreon, an 11-game slate towards the end of the NBA regular season, a 15-game slate on Sunday. Yeah, not many of better times than right now. Bucks might surprise and sit most of their starters. Stay tuned. Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked. What does your current optimizer look like, Sal? Yeah, I haven't updated for any of the recent stuff, so it's probably not the greatest thing to be looking at right now. I'm going to update after the stream for this stuff because I don't want to go radio silence on camera for updating like 10 things. But this is the optimizer. This is what it looks like visually for the people out there, if that's what you're referring to. But I know that you're not referring to that. I know that you were curious as to what the optimizer looks like in terms of what lineups are popping out, but I haven't updated for any of the news that's come out in the last 15 minutes, which is not a lot of news, but it is some news. It is 2 pieces of news, and there's a big piece of news in there with no Frank Jackson in Detroit. So Saban Lee is going to get in a lot more of these lineups. But this is what some lineups are currently looking like. UFC is so damn good. Never used to be a fan, but now it's my favorite sport by far. Yeah, UFC is my favorite sport by far, too. I've been tracking it for like 4 years. I had a friend in college he actually does mixed martial arts now. So, yeah, I've been tracking it, but these last 2 years, it's easily become my favorite sport. Yo, any optimal winning lineups? No, I haven't updated this stuff. So this stuff right here isn't updated for the news on Frank Jackson, which is going to affect some top projected lineups. I'll be updating it afterwards, so if you're a Patreon, stay tuned for that. Isaiah Stewart, fantasy projection for you today. Yeah, Isaiah Stewart, he's not really a play for me on Prize Picks. I have him projected for 31 points. It's not something that I'm looking at on Prize Picks today. I think Stewart is currently at 33.5. It's just too close to be a bet for me. So right now, I want to see what more news happens throughout this slate to take some more plays, but I currently have 4 Prize Picks in. I'm not parlaying them all together or power playing them all together. But if you want to sign up for Prize Picks, it's linked down below. It's an over-under site. You take yourself. You go get your money, you get your wallet, you take your purse, whatever it might be, and you try out Prize Picks. When you deposit your first deposit using the code SAL, S-A-L, link in the description below, they'll double your money on your first up to $100. So your first deposit, get your free dollar Ruskis. I have Towns this morning at 47. He's now at 48. I think it's still fine. I have Anthony Edwards under 38. He's still there. It looks fucking fantastic. I got Sadiq Bey over 29, I believe it was this morning. He's at 30. I think the over is still fine there, even with Josh Jackson in. And then I took a fourth one, which was Malachi Flynn at 29. I've got him about 32.5, and that might actually be projecting him low. So if you want to track those, you can. That's where I'm at right now. Sal, my dude, Discord has been on fire today with the boys, says Andrew. Yeah, the Discord has been really lively. The Prize Picks one, the NBA one, I mean, obviously those ones are in the season right now. Discord around PGA usually sparks up a little bit, like on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, for the most part. And then MMA obviously sparks up on Saturday itself. And then the NFL when that season rolls around. We also have an MLB Discord, too. Chandler will knock out Oliveira in the first 20 seconds Saturday night. I actually will be rooting for Chandler. I might actually put a financial stake in that, a.k.a. a wager. I just like Chandler a lot. Nothing against Oliveira. Just you could even see UFC. Maybe it's because Oliveira doesn't speak English for like these UFC vlogs that they do, and it's not as good TV. Maybe they don't have a good translator for him. But you can just see that they're just featured. They want Chandler to be a star in this sport. These vlogs and all these promos, it's just him in them. Like the last mini vlog was 9 minutes of Michael Chandler, and that was it. There was nobody else. And the guy fighting Tony Ferguson. I can never remember his name. Obviously, I know he's fantastic. Seems to be like likely to win. And I mean, Tony Ferguson's in a do or die situation. Joe Val already ruled out. Correct. Yeah, correct. Joe Val's already ruled out. We'll pull up Memphis's minutes. On that note, do you like PG-13 today? No, I do not want to be playing him. He's not a priority for me. He's like outside of my top 30 or 40 plays. When the NBA season is over, will my sub move to NFL, or how does that work on Patreon? Just wondering, says Studio Roll. Yeah. So the NBA season doesn't end until July 22nd, whenever the NBA Finals ends. So like the whole playoffs will have content for it. So when that time comes in July, it won't roll over. You'll just have to roll your package over into NFL. NFL season, I believe we'll get the schedule tomorrow night. Tomorrow night we get the preseason schedule, so we'll know exactly what date the preseason first game is. It's probably going to be like 2 weeks after the NFL regular season ends. So what you could do is you can roll into the all sports package. No difference in charge. Get MMA, get PGA, get MLB still. And then there'll be like a 1 to 2 week lull until the NFL preseason starts. And then I'll be covering that with some analysis and things along those lines. So yeah, you will have to manually roll over. But it won't be anything crazy. It'll be like a week's difference. Who are your two top plays today? Yeah, I never have two top plays. That question is very nuanced, I would say. Is that just based on point per dollar? Is that based on projection? Is that in the 3K range, or 4K range, or 5K range? Are you playing in a cash game, MME, right? It's very dependent on your specific lineup. Like top value plays, Brendan Clark, Stanley Johnson, Saban Lee, Xavier Tillman, Watanabe, Malachi Flynn. I think Malachi Flynn looks like a very solid play today. If you put a gun to my head and say, Sal, tell me like the guys you're most excited to play today, I think Malachi Flynn would be one of them. But then after that, really nobody. Like, yeah, Tillman and Clark look fantastic, but they're looking like each other, so I can't be picking. Like, it's not like one of them stands out above the rest. Chandler is a beast, but I don't know about that one, somebody says. Can you name your top 3 punt plays today? Based on, they're going to be chalky. So, like, does punt play mean low owned? Because Brendan Clark, Xavier Tillman, Stanley Johnson, Yuta Watanabe. I mean, those are still the guys in the 3K range. Lower owned guys that you can probably punt on, like Jalen Harris, Torrey Craig, Laurie Markkinen. Those are some cheap low owned guys. Like DJ Khaled says, I need another one. Sal, do you like PG-13 or Levert more? If I had to pick one, I'd take PG-13. Crazy to even say, but Jalen Harris, and is any interest to you? Yes, Lux. He actually is, yeah. He actually is $3,100. Got him for a decent amount of minutes for Toronto. We'll pull up Toronto's minutes again today. He actually is in play for me. You know what I'm not looking forward to today? Whenever we get the 17 pieces of news at once for tonight's slate. That's going to be a lot. Thoughts on Naismith? Never for me. Bamba today? Not for me. Sound no SuperDraft faves in Patreon. Somebody says, yeah, I'll update those after. It was such a big slate. I was kind of waiting until we got some more news. I'll update those after. How much is the whole NFL season with Optimizer, says Dion Kelly. Yeah, I don't have, so I'm working on getting everything over to a WordPress site. The draft guides are actually already on there, the Big Energy Sports site. But there's no like season only packages. You can sign up for a year of Patreon, which is going to be more than just the NFL season. But it's all listed out on Patreon right here. You can check the monthly rate on the NFL packages, though, if you want to check those out. It depends on what you want. If you want the optimizer with it and you don't want any other sports, it's $35 a month for NFL. And that gets you ownership, game-by-game notes, which is like 20 pages of notes, projections, ranks, top plays, player pools, all that type of shit, right? The Final Thoughts podcast where I discuss my stacks and all that type of stuff only for patrons on Sundays during NFL season. All that type of stuff. Is my Wi-Fi? No, I think it was just like a 1 second thing that just happened right there. Let's smash him. Dalaruski says, Michael, I'm down for that. Is Boucher playing today? As of right now, there's no update. He's questionable. I haven't projected him. PrizePicks needs to add UFC. PrizePicks does have UFC. PrizePicks has UFC. They usually add it on like Wednesdays or Thursdays. I want them to add it earlier in the week. I don't know what they do. They got to add it earlier. I know that people want it. Any interest in Alex Caruso with LeBron out today? No. Svi or Jalen Harris? Give me Jalen Harris if I had to pick one. Best forward, $6,900 or under today. I mean, how low do you want to go? How low can you go, right? Not Seth? Like, seems like you have $6,900 in salary left exactly. Because if you're going to ask me best forward, I'll just say Brandon Clark, but he's all the way down at $3,400, right? If we're just talking straight point per dollar plays. Best forward, $6,900 and below today. I mean, the answer might be, if you're talking ceiling, I think the answer is probably going to be Marvin Bagley. If you're just talking straight ceiling, Bagley's in that conversation with guys like Sadiq Bey for more of like a safety, closer to Sadiq Bey. But there's so many good options point per dollar wise. I mean, you can keep going with like Terence Davis all the way down to the bottom, like we just mentioned with Brendan Clark's down there, Stanley Johnson's down there. Just buy it all for $500, somebody says. Buy what for $500? What are we talking about again? If you go to a big event, Sal, don't spread your COVID to everybody, says David. Yeah, maybe I should get a test. I don't think I got COVID, though. We Gucci. Best 5K utility player. I think Malachi Flynn is the best 5K option on the slate. Levine or Rozier today? If I had to pick one, I'll take Rozier. Sabonis and Jalen Harris or Vooch and Fournier? Give me Vooch and Fournier. Vooch will be lower owned. Fournier might pick up some ownership, but more stability and ceiling there, in my opinion. It lagged for a second. You're all good now. Thank you. Yeah, so I don't know if anybody knows anything about like Google Fiber or whatever the fuck it's called for like your internet. Yeah, I've somehow lived in Raleigh and then in Austin, two of like the only 10 cities or 8 cities that they service in the country. So I'm going to look into that. I hear that it's basically the same price, but way fucking better than, I think I got Spectrum, which is nothing against Spectrum. It's been fine, but might as well get some nicest speeds if we can get them. Can you go over SuperDraft picks today? Yeah. If you're not over on SuperDraft taking advantage of these contests, like I don't know if SuperDraft is about to fold as a site. I'm a partner of them, so I probably shouldn't be saying that, but I can talk about whatever the fuck I want to. I don't think they're going to. I think they're just trying to get to the NFL season and service a lot of sports right now, so they spread their price pools a little bit thinner. $2,000 to first in NBA tonight. Check them out. The contest is going to fill tonight at a ridiculously small amount. Last night it filled in the 60s on SuperDraft, their main contest. The 60s. If you entered a lineup into SuperDraft last night, you beat 35% of the field just by entering the lineup, right? 35% of the field just by entering the lineup. You didn't do that on DraftKings. You didn't beat any of the field just by entering the lineup. You actually had to have your lineup work for yourself. Fucking crazy how people still don't play over there. They just don't know about it, or they just don't want to take the time to make the account, whatever it might be. But there's a link down below. You should probably make a fucking account. SuperDraft today, some higher multiplier guys that have upside. RJ Barrett has a 1.6x multiplier in SuperDraft. I like that a lot for the massive minutes. And Malachi Flynn, yet again, 1.65x. That looks good. Derrick Rose, 1.65x. That looks fucking sexy with no Quickly or Alec Burks, both doubtful today. So those are some high multiplier guys. There's your really good plays, like Sabonis, who's still power forward eligible over there. My highest projected player at 59.92 points. My two highest projected plays right now in SuperDraft are Sabonis and Nikola Vucevic, but there's a lot of other power forwards and centers up there, like Anthony Davis, like Randall, like Embiid. Fournier been balling on a motherfucking budget. Not really anymore. We out of college. Somebody says, I was talking about Patreon. Yeah, I'm going to add those to Patreon afterwards. We talked about that a little bit earlier. Yeah, we'll get those on Patreon after the stream. I was basically waiting for a lot of news to drop, and I was going to add it because we're going to have to change so much shit anyways. So in 10 minutes, once I'm done, I'm going to get into the lab, update some projections. It seems like we're only getting news for tomorrow, which is thankfully only a 6-game slate tomorrow. Get a little rest and recovery from this fucking slate we're about to have. Is it okay to pair up Clark and Xavier in single entries? Yes, I think it's okay. They're both cheap enough and project out nicely. Can you pull up the 76ers minutes? Thibault and Korkmaz out. Maxey for any value. I don't think Maxey has that much value because they still have George Hill out there. And obviously some other bodies like Isaiah Joe and these guys who can pick up some minutes. But for sure can pull up the minutes for you. I think I already passed them. I got a Dumbo over here on the camera. Dumbo with the big ears like the elephant. Here we go. Dumbo like the part of Brooklyn that's popping. Google Fiber is by far the fastest and smoothest internet you can get right now. The bandwidth is massive. It completely blows away any other service provider in the country. Yeah, Jay. I don't know if like you work for them or you just know a lot about that shit. That's what I hear. I personally don't know as much about that shit. I just say, give me the, like Spectrum, I'm on like their highest plan right now, and it's been completely fine. There was times in the past where it got fucked up, but I think that was more to do with my older laptop. Just too much shit going through it. than the actual internet. I'm on a hardwired connection, so I think it's harder. Like, what would be the difference? Is it just like I could be talking in real time then? Is that the difference, Jay, on just getting like the smoothest internet you can get? So instead of there being like, I think there's like a 3 or 5 second delay on YouTube, there wouldn't be one. Is that like, I'm trying to think of the difference for me. I'll just get it. Why the fuck not? Sounds good. Projection for Julius Randle today. I actually think Randle is underpriced today, believe it or not. Playing massive minutes. They continue to want to hold up that 4 spot wherever they want to be. I got him for 37 minutes at $9,400 today. I think it looks pretty good. I think it looks pretty good today. I mean, he's going to be another guy that's not owned at all today. Julius Randle, not Chasing Randle today. I've got for 48.28 points. He's my third highest projected SuperDraft play. Spend $500 and buy the full Patreon sub. It will pay off, says Jared. Hey, I appreciate that, Jared. Yeah. If you guys play a lot of DFS, we'll also be adding in a good amount of sports betting stuff as the NFL time comes. But if you play a lot of DFS in multiple sports, I mean, we've got right now NBA, MLB, PGA, MMA, and by we, I mean me, in terms of coverage for analysis and really statistics and tools. We have optimizers. We have NFL, which is going to be a big one. XFL I'll be covering next year as well, and going all in on the XFL once the NFL season ends. So, yeah, the best value that there actually is for Patreon, all sports if you just want to do a monthly thing, and the Hall of Fame if you want the optimizers, but the best value is the seasonal one. Obviously, you have to put more money up front, but you end up saving more money in the long run. You get 2 free months of Patreon when you sign up for a year. That's the value add on your end. But obviously, you need the funds up front, so it's not for everybody. I understand that. What's your max Raptors in one lineup today? My max from a team is probably going to, on a massive 11-game slate, a max from a team is going to be 3. On my single entry and 3 max lineup, probably honestly 2, but for 150 max is 3. The difference between fiber and cable is upload speed. Fiber doesn't have a cap. Most cable modems plan a cap of that. Wow, so you're telling me that I can upload to YouTube much quicker? I mean, right now, my videos download from my laptop in like 3 minutes on this. I got this laptop a couple weeks back is just souped the fuck up. It's like my entire life right now. This thing's so fucking quick. But uploading to YouTube, it still takes like a half hour. But part of that is YouTube's processing on their end, I believe. Any love for Bembry, Sal? Some, just because they're down some bodies out there. Not a lot. What up, Sal? You like Zubac or Tillman more? I like Tillman more, but I do like Zubac. They're both yeses for me. What's going on, Mitch? Sportsbook isn't legal, somebody says. Lim says. What do you mean? Prize Picks, the sponsor of the program? Yeah, they're not legal in every single state. They're also technically not a sports book, although I'm sure they probably want to move into that direction as the industry changes over the next decade. But they are a fantasy gaming site. It's in my contract to be promoting it as a fantasy gaming site, not a sports book. I can't be saying bets and parlays. I got to be saying power plays and fantasy contests. Otherwise, they come over here while I'm on camera and they beat the shit out of me. That's probably why I got a sore throat and feel like shit. Whoa. Oh my God, excuse me. I'm sorry, it's not me, it's my throat. I never burp on camera, but we just did because I can't control my throat these days. It's so sore. Fiber has higher upload and download potential than anywhere else you can get. Is this going to cost me like $7,000? Because I'm going to get this shit. Boucher is starting, LOL. Boucher's starting. Okay. I don't think he plays big minutes. I've got Boucher projected in for 20 minutes. Maybe I give him 24 minutes. Maybe it makes him look a little bit better for me. I mean, he's going to have a massive fantasy point per minute projection. But, yeah. Boucher will start. That's the only other news. Yeah, I'll update for all the news we've gotten. It's not a lot yet, but there will be a lot. But my take on Boucher, just to kind of give you my take on that, is Toronto's minutes are on the screen right now. I had Mr. Chris Boucher projected for 20 minutes. Maybe I bump him up to like 24 since Aaron Baines is out now and they can't just throw away some minutes to him. But I still think that Ken Birch is going to get a lot of minutes. Now, obviously, with Boucher coming off starting and Ken Birch coming off the bench, I don't think Ken Birch gets 32 minutes. So this is where I have to make the decision on, do I want to split these center minutes as, they'll play alongside each other, though. Birch will play some of the 4. Do I want to split these minutes as like 24 Boucher, 28 Birch? I think I could probably do something like that, yeah. It's just a matter of how much do I actually think he does play in this type of a game, and my answer is not 30-plus minutes. Love any specific studs today? Love would be an overstatement on them. They're all on the slate. I'm leaning towards going to guys like Giannis, but I really want to see what happens with some of this news. Giannis and Steph look like the best options. Steph picking up a lot of ownership, so it kind of makes it a little bit unattractive. Fios in New York cost me around $65 a month for 1 gigabyte up and down. Wow. That's not bad at all. I pay $65 for Spectrum right now, which is like their middle tier. It's either their middle or their upper tier. I'm not too sure. I know it's not the lowest one. We pay more than that because I pay 2/3 of it and I'm paying. So I think I pay 70 or 75 for Spectrum on like their middle level, which I don't know if it's 1 gig or higher than that. Somebody says he's in now. My best option is shooting guard 4.1K, Jalen Harris. I think you can get better than Jalen Harris. Unless you're saying Joe Harris with the J Harris, I think you can get better with him. I mean, I would go to Saban Lee and just punt the position because Saban Lee is going to be your best projected option in that range. It's faster in Europe. That's what she said. Somebody says, oh. I rode with you on the cat over and Edwards under this morning, says Mitch. Hey, we love to hear that. Let's go. Yeah, is anybody else riding on that? Should we make that the prize picks pick of the day? Should I put out a tweet? I don't like people who put out like tweets about their picks because it looks kind of tacky, but I'm not going to be promoting it as like buy my picks package, right? It'd be fun. A fun thing for the community. Should I just be like, hey, we're riding the Minnesota Timberwolves train today. Maybe we'll put out a tweet. Because, I mean, I took this one real quick in the morning. It was my favorite one. The over 47 on Cat. I mean, now that this has changed, it's not as good anymore. And the under 38. Saban Lee is the only point guard tonight. Yeah, I do think guys can control the point. Like, I do think Josh Jackson can control the point. Sadiq Bey can take some responsibilities, not a lot. But, yeah, he's the only true point guard. No, I don't work for them, but my field is in network engineering, and I tend to stay up on the top. That makes sense. Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense, Jay Brown. Appreciate all the advice on the Google Fiber. It seems like I should change my plan to Google Fiber when I get to Austin, is what I'm hearing. My provider does 35 up and 1,000 down. Straight garbage. Usually get 15 up, 500 down because they throttle. That's brutal. Yeah, that's not good. Trent Hardaway or Anderson for shooting guard today? You want Trent Hardaway or Anderson for shooting guard today? I think my answer there is going to be, Anderson. I don't know who is Anderson that's a shooting guard. Kyle Anderson, small forward, and so I'm not too sure who Anderson is for that, but I would go Trent. Kellyan Hayes, though. Oh, yeah, Kellyan Hayes, duh. Is Kellyan Hayes not playing? No, Kellyan Hayes is playing. I just went along with what that guy said. Who let the dogs out? George Ortiz. What's up, boss man? I'm on that Cat Edwards play as well. Hey, we love to hear it. Pete the Heat. What's going on, Pete? How you doing, boss man? How you doing today, boss man? I assume, we got Pete the Heat in the chat. I assume that you are doing some sort of prep or something for the fights this weekend, if I had to guess, at least sometime in the past day or two. I'm excited for it. I'm going to be moving to Texas as long as the gasoline in the South comes back on over the next couple of days. But yeah, I'll be moving to Austin, moving in the day of that fight in Houston. So I want to get out to another event whenever they plan the night. I don't think there's any other ones scheduled, any big ones scheduled for Texas yet, but I'm sure they'll go back there in Florida sometime over the next 6 months. Lakers versus New York. Who is your captain today for captain mode? You got to go with the higher projected guys there, so it's going to be really tough for me not to want to go to a Julius Randle, right? Lakers don't have many high projected upside players. I mean, it's really just Davis if he can get the minutes. There is Derrick Rose, who's probably a nice value for you, but I'd probably go with Randle. Randle or Derrick Rose? Always. Solid card. I think it's a really solid card. I was just watching, before I came on, some of the embedded stuff, the little vlog that came out a couple hours ago for today. Current top 10? Yeah, I don't have it updated for you. I'm going to update the current stuff. Saban Lee is in it. The current top 8 is right now on the screen. But it's not going to be accurate because, let me put up this screen. It's not going to be accurate because I don't have the updates for Chris Boucher starting and some other stuff that's going to be out there. Saban Lee likely getting a lot more minutes with Frank Jackson out. So this is not fully accurate right now because I have to update some of the news that's dropped over the last 20 minutes since we've been live. So it seems like, yeah, they got 9 guys today. It makes sense for the Raptors. So we got to update like 2 or 3 pieces of news right now, and then obviously a lot more. Do you think Fournier will have a repeat performance? I like Fournier today. Favorite play at the forward spot today? Brandon Clark right now. Randle or Steph on straight points today? It's a good question. Let me see. I've got Randle. I've got Steph for 52.5, and I've got Randle for 48, so Steph. Hey, Sal, who do you like on Sacramento today? Sacramento has a lot of really strong options. I still like DeLon Wright, even though the price point is coming up to a crazy price point at this spot. I like DeLon Wright. DeLon Wright, Terence Davis are probably my favorite options. I would go Terence Wright, DeLon Wright. I would go Terence Davis, DeLon Wright, Bagley, Holmes. And then I think Harkless is okay. Can you play Clark and Tillman together? I think you can, especially since Clark is power forward. It allows you to not lose your utility spot. Curry and Brooks or DeLon Wright and D. Russ today. Give me Curry and Brooks. Curry and Brooks. All right, we just answered that one for my man David. I don't play captain mode. I got cheeks clapped away too often. Somebody says, yeah, I've only played Showdown for NBA 2 or 3 times, and it's usually when like an entire team gets ruled out on the weekend, and I don't think anybody's going to react to it, and it normally, actually 2 of those times it was a Milwaukee game. They ruled out their whole team. Good luck tonight, everybody. Thanks, Al. You the man. Stay real, brother man. We'll try, my man. Yeah. So tomorrow will be the last live stream 6-game slate until probably Sunday or Monday. And then I'll be moving, but we'll have content out Thursday for NBA in the morning, MMA, UFC card, 262 in the afternoon. Friday morning, we'll have an NFL draft, mock draft, and then we'll go from there. Is there a way to put only the Y and X players in the optimizer, says Bobby J? I would not recommend doing that. There is a way you can just check them off personally yourself. I would not recommend doing that, though. You're limiting your player pool too much. Those are there as a reference and as a guide. That is not, these are exactly who you should be playing, right? Then those I actually have 5% or less of. That's the goal of when I do that. But I would not be doing that because when you limit that to only 60 guys, the optimizer is not going to give you all 60, or it's going to throw in there 57, 56, and it's going to give you the wonkiest combinations. It's not going to give you a true sample of what you should get of those guys when you also have the scrubs in there. So when you have all the scrubs in there and you have those guys in there, it's going to give you a more accurate balance and representation of your lineups when you put on randomness. So that's how I would approach it. Mind sharing your top updated 8? I don't have them updated right now. Otherwise, I would. We showed them, like, if you scroll back, like, just 2 minutes ago, we showed them, but I described and laid out why they're not updated yet. They're about to be updated as we get off the stream because of current news. Terence Davis or D Rose? I think D Rose has more upside. I think Terence Davis is safer for minutes. Devin Booker, love tonight. He's in a player pool for me. Sacramento's a crapshoot. Anybody can go off. I don't think there's that many guys in Sacramento that can go off, to be honest with you. I think, like, DeLon Wright is, like, and Rashawn Holmes and Bagley are, like, the guys that can go off, like, really pop off. Hi, what's going on? How you doing? Crystal Epps. They need to get gambling legal in Florida already. It's in the works. Yeah, I saw that they got DFS legal, I think, over there, right? Hit the like button. Hit the like button before you go. We're about to bounce. The slate starts in less than an hour for a massive 11-game slate. I'm going to go update the projections. We got a lot of patrons in the chat tonight, so I appreciate all of you being out here tuning in. If you're not already part of the community on Patreon, get up in there, get up in the Discord, get up in all the projections. We're going to update them, especially for this massive slate and all the wonky stuff happening over the next 5 days at the end of the regular season. We'll have content all throughout the NBA playoffs, though, so don't worry about that. Golf content returned today. Video dropped at 11 a.m. Be sure to check it out. Because what are you waiting for? Golf, the second biggest sport in DFS in terms of prize pools, only behind NFL right now. Hopefully legal in 2022. Fiber's never around in areas you need it. Don't listen to these fools. You're going to be forced with what's in Austin. No, fiber is in Austin. Yeah, that's what we started that with. That's why I know it's not in a lot of areas, but it is in Austin. So I sent you a quick read on Google Fiber, just some info so you know what you're getting. I appreciate that. Thank you. I saw you pick Vucevic in your earlier stream. Why him over Sabonis or Jokic? I don't think I picked Vucevic in an earlier stream. I'll be honest with you. I didn't have an earlier stream, so I think you might have been tuning into different content. My video this morning, I didn't have Vooch in there. But I don't like Vooch over Sabonis or Jokic today. So I think you got the wrong guy. Liking MPJ, Michael Porter Jr., slightly. Dort status could change a ton late lineups if he sits. I agree. Thoughts on RJ Hampton tonight? Not interested. What's your strategy real quick on the classic mode? Like just classic mode? Like, I mean, like just normally not showdown? I like playing single entry and 3 maxes. I like getting in smaller fields. How do you feel about the Rozier under on prize picks and not touching it? Fiber's taking over, coming to home near. Nice. All right, everybody. Appreciate it. Is Tillman a bust if he doesn't start? Not as anywhere near interesting to me. I almost locked Boost, somebody said. All right, everybody. Appreciate you tuning in. The projections are going to be updated. I'll see everybody in the Patreon Discord. If you're not in there, you're missing out. See you in the next one. Be sure to sign up for Prize Picks to sponsor the program. Keeps these lights on. Lets me wear shirts like this without getting absolutely canceled and nobody tuning in. So, we take some risks out here. I'm going to go try and clear this throat, heal this throat. Use the code SAL on Prize Picks. Get yourself some free dollar rooskies. Less than 1 hour until tip-off of the second biggest slate of the rest of the NBA season. Sunday's 15-game slate. It's an afternoon slate. All the games start between noon and 2:30. It's going to be crazy. This is the second biggest slate left in the season. After this, we have a 9-game slate on Thursday, 8-game slate on Friday, and then no more big slates, all the playoffs. Best of luck, everybody. I appreciate you all tuning in. Appreciate you more than you know. Peace out. Fucking mean with it. Damn. Shit, this guy's mean with it.